Coming up on Fulton Today, citizens in South Fulton weigh in on the future of their community. Hear what they have to say. And we'll explain how these shoes are helping and remembering victims of crime. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis Rucker. South Fulton residents gather at Westlake High School to hear the options for what will become of their community. Now, the Fulton leaders joined the Georgia HOA Alliance for the informational session on annexation, de-annexation, and incorporation. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has our story.
Residents in South Fulton may have a decision on a referendum vote that could determine if the area will become a new city. But before residents head to the polls, the voters are getting more information about how that decision could impact their neighborhoods. A non-biased panel faced an auditorium of residents and answered questions about annexation and incorporation. The discussion at Westlake High School's auditorium included members of the state and county elected officials, finance officials from the county, as well as the Association County Commissioners of Georgia and Georgia State University. The Georgia HOA Alliance hosted the event.
So we have a good representation of people who specialize in different aspects of establishing a new municipality or even annexing into an existing city.
A number of cities have expressed interest in annexing some of unincorporated Fulton into their cities. Residents have until June 30th to sign those annexation petitions. After that, residents in the unincorporated area could vote on a possible cityhood.
I've lived in the area for 30 years, and I've seen a lot of changes that have occurred in the area during that period of time. And I'm not sure that what is being proposed is going to be a benefit to me.
I think cityhood offers us an extra protection of representation, and our constituents can go directly to the people they elected.
If the governor signs the bill, the vote is scheduled for November 8th. More informational sessions are expected before that time. Reporting from downtown Atlanta, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. International guests find out what it's like at the Fulton County Jail. Sheriff Ted Jackson and his chief jailer, Colonel Mark Adger, welcomed the guests from the Republic of Georgia and gave them a tour of the Rice Street facility. The tour included stops at the jail's intake area, medical section, and the award-winning kitchen. It was the latest stop by a group of international visitors to the jail.
I just, love to have these relationships, both transatlantic and with South Americans, and even with the Japanese judges that we get through here from time to time.
The visitors called it an invaluable experience.
Something that has really surprised us was the healthcare system that is being provided to inmates. Something that has been also interesting and that we can bring back to our country, where some of the educational programs that are being provided for inmates, such as vocational education and like some other kind of retraining programs, which will help them to reintegrate back into society when they are hopefully released.
The Republic of Georgia's penal system is currently undergoing major reforms. Meanwhile, there's a new deputy on the beat at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Ted Jackson issued the oath of K-9 Officer Diesel as he was sworn in as the latest crime fighter.
I will be governed by the laws, rules, and ordinances applicable to the Sheriff's Office, so help me God. You're now official.
The Belgian Malinois is from Holland, Germany. Diesel and his partner, Deputy Byron Thomas, spent 13 weeks in training at the Alabama K-9 School.
He's a dual-purpose dog. Dual-purpose meaning he does tracking, apprehension, drug work, and also cell phone.
There have been reports of cell phones and other contraband being smuggled into the county jail.
And he's a cell phone apprehension dog, so he's a dual-purpose dog, dual-trained, and we're excited about him doing cell phone detection at the jail.
The sheriff's office has 4 canine teams. Serving victims, building trust, and restoring hope. That was the theme of this year's National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Now, the Fulton County District Attorney, along with the Fulton County Solicitor General and the Marshal's Department, all joined forces to help support the victims of all crimes. FGTV's Felicia Church has this story.
Family members, supporters of victims' rights, and county officials honored them with a rally and walk outside the Fulton County Courthouse.
We called it a solidarity walk. The DA's office, the Fulton County Solicitor's office, many of the other agencies in our county who work with victims and the families of those victims.
Empty shoes were laid out on the steps of the Fulton County Courthouse in honor of the more than 20 million Americans that become victims of some type of crime each year.
The empty shoes you see before you on the steps of our courthouse are a visual reminder that these aren't just statistics. These aren't just shoes. They represent people.
Children, women, and men, all victims of crime, county employees, and families of victims who did not survive, as well as actual victims, took part in the 1-mile walk and rally.
Women and men, adults and children, people whose lives have been forever impacted by crime in our community. Crime victims who have had to walk through the criminal justice system.
The Marshal's Department, along with the District Attorney and Solicitor General Victim Witness Assistance Program, also collected clothes, personal hygiene, and cleaning supplies for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Felicia Church.
Thank you, Felicia. Students attending Fulton's Citizens University get a glimpse at the county's financial structure. The second week of the 12-week program focused on finance and taxes. The Finance Department explained its role in managing the county's money and how the budget is generated every year.
I'm just going to ask, the fiscal year is the same as the calendar year?
Several students asked questions about the incorporation of South Fulton and how it would impact the budget.
I think what I learned tonight was that the Fulton County budget is quite large and quite complicated. It was interesting to see the different departments and where the allocations are going to, and also it was great to have the opportunity to ask questions about issues that impact communities such as the proposed city of South Fulton and what would happen with that fund if the city was to be incorporated.
The students also learned the role and responsibilities of the tax assessor's office and the board of assessors.
Everything we do, we try to make sure that we are efficient and effective.
Representatives gave students an overview of homestead exemptions and property values.
I guess the thing that surprised me when I moved here, which was a little bit more light was shed on that tonight, was the ad valorem tax, which Ohio does not have. So I guess their tax, they have property tax, but it's not collected in the same fashion. So like I had to pay that on the car, and I wound up paying it in 2 installments, which was mentioned tonight as an option.
Next week, the students will learn more about the taxes when they visit the tax commissioner's office. And still to come, Fulton residents go one-on-one with their commissioner. We'll tell you why in our district-by-district coverage next. Fulton residents get a community update from their district commissioner, and seniors get ready for a fun-filled Older Americans Month. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with the Older Americans Month celebrations in several districts all around the county. Seniors prepare to have fun and fellowship as they celebrate the annual observance.
Today we have over 45 million seniors and about 15% living in poverty. So you understand that our job is to make sure that we can provide them with the necessary services and programs so that we can promote healthy living and so that we can help them to preserve their dignity as they live in the community.
Here is a look at some of the events happening all around the county. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. kicks off the 2016 District Dialogue Series of Town Hall meetings. The commissioner welcomed residents and community leaders to the East Point Branch Library for the discussion. The public was given a chance to ask questions about a myriad of topics and offer suggestions about county services. They also got an update on the legislative session.
One of the biggest things that we're working on now is the T-SPLOS project. We're trying to ask voters to approve $1 billion worth of road and transit improvements in Fulton County. And so we're excited that, that we'll have the opportunity. We have not had the opportunity to provide for our roads in Fulton County for the last 20 to 40 years. All of our money has been going to MARTA, and so this gives an opportunity for the cities and the county to invest in the roads.
Traffic and transportation is a priority in this area. You know, and we all suffer sitting, reading license plates, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that someone is making overtures to improve that, I think is a good thing.
There are several meetings this year. You can visit FultonCommission5.com for details. And finally, District 6 residents do some spring cleaning with a little help from the county. Residents lined up at the various county locations to dump unwanted items for free. This one was at the Merck Miles transfer station. The Bulky Trash Amnesty Day is a regular event hosted by the Fulton County Public Works team. It is a day that residents look forward to several times a year.
Instead of just throwing away papers, we have a way to recycle. And then it helps the homeowner to spring clean and to keep things neat. So I think it's awesome.
We came out to shred some documents, get rid of some old household goods, and we're just glad that they do at least twice a year.
We are so pleased that Fulton County operates this bulk waste program because it is one of the examples of how the government can provide quality support to citizens in areas they consider to be important. We appreciate so very much, of course, management and staff who make this possible, but we also want to give a special thanks today to the community organizations who have their own programs to clean up their neighborhoods and to make their neighborhoods safe in terms of both aesthetics as well as in terms of their actual physical safety.
Fulton County encourages its residents to legally dispose of their trash. Staff uses the Amnesty Day to introduce some residents to their facility and services. Fulton residents can dump all of their items, with a few exceptions, every day of the week for a very low fee. Amnesty Day is also a way for the county to keep its residents from dumping items on the sides of roads and in empty lots. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And when we come back, we're talking diabetes prevention. Stay with us. Health officials say diabetes disproportionately affects older adults. So a 4-week diabetes prevention program is giving seniors the tools to possibly prevent the disease.
Whether pre-diabetic or diabetic, a room full of seniors learn what changes they can make to control or prevent the disease.
Well, one thing, I'm a bread lover, so I know now that I got to cut back on my bread, you know, to cut down on some of the glucose that comes from it.
During a 4-week course at the Harriet G. Darnell Senior Multipurpose Facility, seniors are learning about diabetes prevention.
It's an idea of how to make your diet a little healthier through less fat and more fruits and vegetables, and then to include about 150 minutes a week of physical activity. Those are the two main things.
Nutritionist Joe Engelberg is using guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control study during the course. That study says lifestyle changes can decrease seniors' changes of type 2 diabetes by 71%. And this course will remind them that lifestyle changes they can make.
I think it's going to be very informative, even though all of us are older and we have had classes before, but we are not doing what we're supposed to do in order to decrease our diabetes.
The course is expected to be taught at the Dorothy C. Benson Senior Multipurpose Facility in May. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
Meanwhile, health educators learn about various safe sex options so that they can better inform their clients. The health department participated in a training demonstration for a newer and improved female condom. Organizers say the hands-on exercise for employees at the Aldridge Health Center will allow for better patient care.
As women, as men, we should have many options on the buffet, so we can choose what's best for us with that partner at that time, which might be different 2 years from now. So we're about options, and we're hugely important for HIV prevention.
Health officials say when used properly, the female condom protects against sexually transmitted infections, including HIV. The county is continuing to work towards lowering the high HIV rate in Fulton. Georgia ranks second in the nation when it comes to new HIV diagnoses. For more information on safe sex options, you can visit the Aldridge Health Center at 99 Jesse Hill Drive. Well, age is not stopping seniors from making sure that they stay active. A quick line dance had this group on their feet during a health seminar at the Wolf Creek Library. Volunteers for the Catch Healthy Habits program taught seniors that simple exercises can make a big difference in prolonging their lives.
It doesn't have to be big and, overdrawn or anything like that, but just do something. Make a commitment to do something every day to keep yourself fit.
When it comes to eating healthy, the group also learned about the 3 Ps: preparation, process, and portions. Preparing meals in a healthier way by baking instead of frying, avoiding processed foods with added salt or sugar, and portion control to avoid that overeating. And up next, they spend hours of their day giving back. Find out what makes these seniors so special. Stay with us. Track and field athletes at county parks are nearing their finish line for the whole season. During the county's big track meet at Banneker High School, the children ages 4 to 14 participated in a number of events, from relay races to the high jump and even shot put for the older kids. The young athletes gave it their all in each event as they prepare to head to state.
I'm very proud that the kids worked very hard to get to this point. They did a lot of drills and, they were very disciplined with the drills and a lot of conditioning and things like that. And they just gave it their all.
The participants have been going to track and field meets since March. This is all ahead of the state track meet that is scheduled for May 13th and 14th in Augusta. Now, to get details about the park's programs, you can visit their website. And finally, volunteers at the various county senior centers are recognized for the hard work they do every day. During a luncheon at the Atlanta Metropolitan College, county commissioners and other leaders gave touching words of appreciation. The volunteers donate countless hours to senior facilities all throughout the county. One volunteer that was recognized served about 500 hours of time in 1 year alone.
I love working with my seniors. They like family. They make life, worth coming out every day. It gives me a reason for coming out. Give me a reason for living too.
Government cannot do it by itself. We need the volunteers who can supply so many different talents, volunteers who provide tireless efforts just to make sure that our centers are going on a daily basis, of running very effectively.
The volunteers do a variety of tasks, including making food for the centers and delivering hot meals to seniors who are homebound. To get involved with Fulton senior programs, you can call the Star Line or visit the county's website. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.